Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another very exciting LEGO build. Originally, this was not going to be next after Bower-Dur. The reason it is that this set kind of changes a whole lot. So essentially, if you have not watched any of my custom like Harry Potter builds or anything like that, a huge display, actually probably my second biggest display outside from my city, is a like custom Hogwarts, all of the grounds and all of that good stuff going on. Essentially, I built a like mountain / hilltop for it, similar to this, so that it could overlook the entire castle. And I'm very happy with that, really am. However, then this got announced, and it is a completely different rock base. So I'm going to build, review, talk about the actual set first, and then incorporate it into the custom castle. I'm obviously going to have to do some serious work to kind of make this fit. I already have the boathouse, the owlery. This is going to just replace the Great Hall and maybe a couple of the smaller sets that combines the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts that I have, and then it will be overlooking the lake and all that good stuff. The main reason that I wanted to build this now is because it doesn't really make sense to do all the smaller projects when I can be working on this and something else in the future. So like, if I need some extra bricks, I can order them and all that good stuff. If you're wondering what I've been working on, the giant Bower-Dur behind me should explain. Check out that build if you haven't already, but this is part of the June 1st wave. This is the Hogwarts Castle, the Great Hall. It is part of, again, the boathouse, the owlery, Hagrid's hut, all that good stuff. Part of the new, biggest and most detailed Hogwarts ever, and this is obviously by far and away the biggest one they've done yet. It contains 1,732 pieces, retails for $200, and has quite the plethora of minifigures, including a cool cave troll and a couple removable elements. This right here is actually the extension stairs that took me 8 years to try and build and ended up giving up on, trying to connect my the rock wall to my boathouse. So we'll be doing all of that in this video. This is going to be a pretty busy one, so I'm very excited to do so. I have like 15 of the June 1st sets. I'm doing Bower-Dur. I've already done Rex's Y-Wing. I've done another one. Oh, the Lamborghini V12. Now we're doing the Great Hall. So June 1st was quite great. I got this as part of my initial haul, and then we went to the LEGO store a few days ago, and I got like 10 more. Well, not 10 more, but quite a bit more from June 1st and a couple other ones. So I'm very, very excited for that. Once this is in place, we'll be doing a Quidditch pitch in the next few days. So I'm very excited for that. Adding details and mills plating Hagrid's hut, and adding to the Forbidden Forest. Plus I have the Dumpstrad ship. Like, look at this bad boy. I just took out so many LEGO sets to show you this. But I'm very excited to do so. I like to believe that all of my intros are just becoming slightly unhinged as I get more comfortable, so I'm sure that should be great. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another build. I'm doing this very late at night. I'm sure my neighbors appreciate that, and quiet hours. And I'll see you at the end of the build, folks. As always, we're going to hyperlapse build this. Maybe I'll break it up into segments like I did Bower-Dur. Not 100% sure yet, but I'm just excited. You know, the LEGO collection's at a really good spot, and I'm really excited for that. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. Helps the channel out a lot. Become a member if you're really interested in supporting the channel further, and probably the most important, check out my Instagram. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys and getting to know everybody. We're up about 300 to 400 subscribers in 2 weeks, so that's pretty cool. Or followers, I should say, in 2 weeks. And I also just got an extra desk ring light, so I'm not just requiring this one, and it's going to allow a lot better lighting, a lot better details, hopefully, for the actual review portion. So we'll look forward to that. So a lot of upgrades, new phone stabilizer, new phone a few months ago, brand new LEGO sets, new GoPro, new lighting systems. It's a very exciting time, and I'm slowly growing into this job / hobby. So thank you guys so much for joining me for another build. Let's get started in this magical build, folks. everybody, so here's the final build. This is an awesome looking set. I really like it. I love the courtyard too. The staircase, everything looks pretty fantastic with this. The rooms that pull out of the bottom, I like the idea of them from a display point. I would say that maybe you need to like kind of nail those down a little bit, but other than that, I think it looks fantastic. And you know what? I had a couple pieces left over. Couldn't figure out where I was missing them. There we go. That's what I was missing. I just realized there were studs there. Overall, the minifigure lineup is very strong for this one. Obviously, we're going to have Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Got about 1 billion of them. But a couple students that I never heard of before. So we do have a couple different ones as well. So a little bit of everything, which I think is pretty cool. We're started off with the headmaster himself, Albus Dumbledore. Of course, this is going to be from book 1, either the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where you are. This is going to be, of course, before Dumbledore was recasted. He also has some beautiful golden arm print and some back print on the bottom piece of the long garment, and some awesome torso print as well. So a very, very nice minifigure from the part 1 here. Then we have a pretty standard Series 1 Harry Potter. Obviously, these are all going to have the little legs attached since they are children. And of course, I won't spend too much time talking about Harry, Ron, and Hermione, given that probably almost everybody in the Harry Potter Lego world has about 100 of them. But they are very nice, detailed, nonetheless. So then we move on to a couple of the different ones that I've never heard of before. We have Terry Boot. Never heard of him before in my life, but he is from the Ravenclaw side of things. Very interesting. No idea who that is. I've read all the books. I honestly have no idea. So that's a very different one for me. Then we have Daphne Greengrass here. A very different one nonetheless. I'm glad we at least got some different students here. I've always said that they should put like just generic, even if they're unnamed students, so you can kind of have a bigger layout. And that's pretty cool that we got another Slytherin member as well. And then we move to Leanne. No idea what her last name is, but her name is Leanne, and she's going to be from Hufflepuff. So we do have somebody representing every class, which is pretty cool. Here is also a brand new figure for the set, which is Professor Vector. I love the witch's hat. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. These are also those hair and hat pieces that are all in one, which I think looks fantastic. She has really, really nice torso and dress print as well. Very cool belt buckle. And she actually, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but she shines with like little stars in her dress, which I think looks fantastic. Then we, of course, have the original villain from Harry Potter, Professor Quirrell, and a few, of course, going to have Voldemort on the back when you take off his headpiece. So very, very cool. You do have the scarf draping over the back as well, and of course right over the front. Very cool. I think that is my second Professor Quirrell. I'm looking. Yep, second Professor Quirrell. And then we have a new ghost brought to the scene of things, the Fat Friar. One thing, like play set wise, this is a really cool set. However, obviously, since I'm going to be displaying it from this side of things, I don't know if I'll be making a scene or anything. I'll probably have students going in and out from the courtyard, maybe have a couple around here, but overall, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the ghosts flying around would be pretty cool. And then we have the buildable troll. I'm fresh off of building a ton of Lord of the Rings stuff. I almost called him the cave troll. This is the mountain troll, of course, again from part 1. He's got his big old brick-built club here, and then he is a pre-molded figure with a couple pieces for the arms and the hands itself. I think it looks a lot better than the former pieces, and if you're curious about the size, compared to him and like the castle troll, very, very cool. He is a little bit taller, obviously not as neat as this guy here, but you know, these guys are also a pretty penny to try and collect nowadays, so the 4 I have very much stay hidden over here. So very cool figure, and definitely a high selling point for this set is the awesome minifigure array. Now looking at it obviously from this side, it is about 16 inches tall, so quite a demanding piece. I'm really happy with it. The courtyard, you can add plenty of minifigures to the outside here. This is a double walkway, so let's say Terry Boot, I think that was his name. You know, you can have some students looking out over the horizon, which is very cool. Probably what I'll end up doing in the end when I start adding a lot more minifigures and scenes, I'll start lining up some minifigures going in and out, but some excellent rock work going around the bottom, and it is on a dark blue base with a couple dark trans blue pieces. We got a couple of these new style trees, again, that were from the Alpine Lodge, and have since been used in many sets, so I'm happy that they're continuing to use a very cool design. They are on a little hinge mechanic, so you can either lower them to this angle, you can keep them up. I kind of like keeping them straight up, but you can obviously lower them down. Once I have the actual lake in place, we'll see. Then we move to the side of things. Obviously, this piece is going to connect to the boathouse, which we'll see in a minute. Another tree on this side. The child above us is stumbling. Now we move to, obviously, the bigger part of this set that people are going to be very excited about. You can see the little opening for the gateway here, for the corridor here, and I think it looks pretty fantastic. The dining hall is excellent, definitely bigger than the former Great Hall, which I think I'm going to do a video in the future, actually comparing this hall to the 2018 to 2020 version. We have a couple little cloud pieces up top to represent when the weather actually changes, the Hogwarts crest with the little Sorcerer's Stone up top, some floating candles which look beautiful, and of course Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw all have their stickered flags in the background, which looks excellent. Plenty of seating, desserts, and some salads and some goodies over here. I think they could have added some seats on this side, I will say. I think that would have looked a lot better. Specifically, for Dumbledore, Quirrell, you can add Snape and that whole crew to recreate some of those initial first scenes. Obviously, it isn't the biggest dining hall in the room because there's just not that much room for it. But I think that is one of my biggest complaints, but could have done better. Add a few more seats in there, for the professors, and I think that would have been a nice job overall. Now, all of the rooms at the bottom pull away so you can actually create some scenes. We have the bathroom from the very first episode, or first book, and then you can add the little mountain troll like he's attacking people, which is going to be very cool. The bathroom stall door opens to reveal a little toilet. There's also a couple actual mirrored stickers, some water flowing on the floor, some drainage areas, and a sink with a mirror, so very cool. And then they just slide in on these little railways. If you're wondering, if you watch the Hyperlapse build, I put these pieces backwards, so that's why this wasn't fitting. We also moved to the inside for the little Easter egg. All of the sets coming now, in the future, probably for the foreseeable future for this whole lineup, you're going to be getting these little hidden gem pieces, which are going to represent different wizards and witches and stuff like that, which is very cool. So the little Easter egg in here, which is always a neat thing. And then we move to the final room here. I was actually missing the fireplace piece to keep that in here, so I actually am missing that little grate piece, and I don't have a spare one, so I will have to do that on a later date. We have the Hufflepuff colored yellow and black carpeting here. We have a little sofa, a chair, and then a stickered piece when they're trying to actually figure everything out. We have this little not coral, a cup, and then some more desserts. And again, they all just basically slide in here. You can either build a scene directly in it, which I'm not 100% sure again if I'm going to do that or not, or just keep them in there for display's sake and display the minifigures elsewhere. But I think this is an absolutely beautiful set for $200. It is a very strong contender for me for the best set I've built this year. In fact, I think it is my second best so far of 2022, or 2022, good lord, 2024. I think this is probably my second favorite set so far, only to Bauer Dur, which was of course the last thing I built, so obviously for double the price it is going to be a very different experience between that and this one. But I think this looks fantastic. Now comes the hardest part of my day, which is going to be tearing apart the mountain that I have built for Harry Potter and then building this in. It is probably not going to be perfect. The main reason being, and I'll show it off a little bit in case this is kind of where you're joining us on our Hogwarts journey. I'm actually going to make a playlist just focusing on all of my Hogwarts custom projects because there's a ton coming. Essentially, I have a mountain built, a very basic mountain, just pure 2x2 and 2x4 dark gray with some trim, stuff like that. Basically, I don't know the height difference. We're going to figure that out all together. And you know what? I forgot to actually reveal this. this opens up too for the actual inner corridor. We got a broom hidden up here. I totally forgot that was the thing. I was just so excited to get all of this started. So another play feature there. But essentially, I'm going to try and meld this in to the display that I already have. It's going to involve a lot of modification. It's going to take quite a bit of time, I would imagine, depending on what the height is, because there's no way my life is going to go so well that it's the exact same height. But we'll see. Basically, this is going to replace just the Great Hall, and I'm going to keep all of the other 2018 to 2020 sets in the background until we can replace them with a new lineup sometime this year, into next year, and probably the next 2 years, actually. I think this looks amazing. I'm really excited for this all to happen. I'm also excited to connect the boathouse to this piece here, which just uses these two little bricks right here, these little 1x2s. So I think this is going to look amazing, and I'll eventually add some minifigures when I'm done modifying it. But now let's take a look at the current Hogwarts project and some modifications to do. Alright, and here we have the current massive Hogwarts project that spans about 7 feet long and a few feet high. This is the current rock wall, which is definitely going to be a little bit higher than the current one, but that's going to be probably a whole project of switching this all out. I was originally going to make it all one video, but I'm going to decide to just stop it here. I just kind of wanted to show where it's going to be going. It is going to be replacing this Great Hall, so look forward to a video comparing that set to the current one. And then obviously we have the boathouse that I'm going to have to build up, probably the little ramp. And then of course we have some more projects over there coming soon. You can see the lighthouse looking over Hagrid's hut and everything else, and that custom minifigure display up top, which I absolutely love. That's just going to do it for this review, guys. Check out the rest of the Hogwarts project. Again, I'm going to build a playlist just for this one, and I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody.